few years ago, I was deeply embedded in hustle culture, and now look at me. I'm watering my chives and drinking Nescafe on my deck at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. I'm not retired, I still work, but I'll tell you how I became part of this calm living movement and some regrets I've had along the way. I'll also add that spring has not been what I expected, and in fact, it's been a bumpy road for the last 2 weeks for me. How you doing? I know on your end it doesn't seem like I've been gone for that long, but I have been. I've had the flu or some very debilitating virus for the last basically week and a half. So I'm glad I made the video when I did, the last vlog. I was in bed for days and days. Spring is in full bloom today. Yes, it comes late where I live. It's May, so that means full spring weather. And I'm taking a reset day. I'm not 100%. It's unintentional slow living is what we're doing around here. So flipping through my book, I just spotted this, which I love. I forgot even that I made this. Strawberries, I think they turned out delightful. My forsythia is in bloom, so I wanted to capture that in just one of the last pages that I have here. So I accidentally found out that I am an adherent of slow living. Isn't that funny? I kind of didn't really know. This is not something that's really on my radar or any kind of way that I've ever identified myself. So I was researching some ideas of, how to, I guess, title my vlogs or what to lean into. And I keep getting this recommendation to use the terminology slow living. Isn't that funny? I've never ever thought to categorize anything that I do or how I live my life in that way. And first I was like, I don't know. It has a bit of a hippie-ish tinge that I don't know that I feel I relate to. But then the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, yeah, it kind of does make sense. So what is slow living? Slow living is just about, I guess, slowing down, stepping back from the rat race, being mindful, intentional, maybe a little bit minimalist. And none of those things I feel really describe who I am, but I think it's because I'm involved in making art and spending my free time making art that this term kept coming up for me in my research. Isn't that funny? And I kind of like it, actually. Yeah, slow living. But the thing is, I got here accidentally. It was not intentional. So can it still be slow living if it wasn't intentional at all? And I don't have an answer actually to that. I don't know. Can you? You probably can. I'm filling in my forsythia with yellow. Forsythia is the first thing to bloom in my backyard. And the daffodils as well, which are the same color pretty much. This beautiful yellow. So I never really chose slow living. It kind of chose me, I had a pretty high octane career, but I didn't mind in a way because I did love what I did. So if I were to go back, it's not that I wanted to live more slowly back then. I had a lot of gas in the tank when I was, in my 30s. What I regret not doing is not spending more money to help me live a bit easier, having more domestic help. And the other thing I probably would have done is we were very careful not to own 2 cars back then. We just didn't want the expense of having 2 cars in the city. It just seems ridiculous. Why are you living in the city if you also need to fund having 2 cars? But I think probably I should have bought that extra car, not forever, but just for the few years my son was very small, because I wasted so much time commuting. It was 55 minutes an hour each way, and I could have cut that in half if I drove into work and I drove back. But I really wanted to pay off my mortgage at the time. That was my main concern, just getting on stable financial footing. So I think financially that wasn't a bad choice, but I think psychologically I made things very hard for myself, and it didn't have to be that hard. So probably it would have been better off to have maybe put off paying my mortgage by a few years and given myself those few more creature comforts. And now that my son's a teenager, what that's left me with, as I've described here before, is more free time. More time for this slow living that we've been talking about. So, thank you for coming to my TED Talk about slow living. Couldn't stay inside anymore. It is just so unbelievably warm out here, on the verge of being hot, I would say. For many people, spring is their favorite season. Easter, pastel colors, blooms. It's actually my least favorite season. And well, look around. Things are brown. Things are still brown where I live, and I think that is the reason I don't like it that much. Today's the first nice weather day, but usually it's very cold. And I just don't enjoy it that much. I much prefer summer, where it's properly hot and you kind of know what to expect in terms of weather. And the grass is very green, and those peonies will be, full, nice and high. I just find everything kind of depressing looking in spring. I want to be someone who really enjoys it. I just don't, and I guess I'm okay with that. That's fine too. I mean, if you really want to embrace slow living, take up some sort of hobby or craft that cannot be done quickly. For me, that's doing embroidery. It really embodies the antithesis of productivity culture. It can't be done quickly. You couldn't if you wanted to, you know, not by hand anyway. If you've got a machine, perhaps you could. I'm still working on this same piece that you've seen me work on for months, but I'm going to finish it today, I'm pretty sure. This is like hours and hours of work. Let me show it to you. It's the dove. It's the pink dove. Pink bird? Pink dove. But I just have to finish up this little bit of this leaf here, and then I'm done. I always think I feel better than I do in the spring. Then it always shocks me that I don't. It doesn't fix all your problems, you know? More sunshine, better weather certainly helps, but not that I have any major problems or anything like that. But I guess I'll sum it up in that I just feel like I'm waiting for summer. You think you'll get that relief when spring comes, but you don't. You really only get it when actual summer comes. Also, my allergies. That's the next thing on the horizon for me. It's been a pretty bumpy ride into spring for me, but it will get better. I know it will. I love that the robins will come so close to me. If you just hang out in the backyard and relax, they relax around you too, and they'll come out and they'll grab worms or whatever it is they're up to just a couple feet from you. Squirrels too. So if you're kind of chilling out and you're giving off a chilled energy, you'll be surprised the wildlife that will come up pretty close to you. Oh, look how cute this one is. It's just a baby. Hi. Hello. Even though I'm chatting, you would think that that would scare them off, but nope. Sirens are going off in the background, but you know what? You can still choose to live peacefully even in kind of loud and chaotic surroundings. All right, all done. I just had to wash out the stabilizer that it was on. Very pretty, if I do say so myself. I've had to move the party indoors because it's all of a sudden got really windy and apparently a huge thunderstorm is coming. I hope not, but just given the swirling wind, I have a feeling that that really is going to happen. When you experience enough climate, you know that when the trees are moving like this and you just hear lots of gusts of wind, you know that a storm is brewing. But anyway, that's okay. It gives me an opportunity to tell you guys about a few things I've been enjoying. These have been mentioned on previous vlogs. Just wanted to close the loop on this timeless stuff that I was sent. Now, I haven't tried all of it, but I have been trying the vitamin C. You can get this at Target. And I've been trying this rose spray, hyaluronic acid rose spray. I think that's what the HA stands for. So I am enjoying this. And to be honest, it's because I'm someone who just enjoys a spray. It really is not a lot deeper than that. Now, my opinion is mixed on this vitamin C. I've tried a lot of vitamin C in my time, and it's not that I don't feel like it has any effect, but what has surprised me is that I almost always feel it a little bit when I put it on my skin, and this one is perhaps very gentle, or it's not doing anything at all. I really don't know which one it is. So I'm gonna keep going with it, but I didn't immediately feel anything, so we shall see. So very much like, not sure yet. That's what I had to say about this. And I have been, if you remember this from the last vlog, using this a lot actually. It comes really in handy because what it's got going for it is, let's see if I can use this hand, it lights up. So it's just this little mirror that sits here. It's perfect for putting on my Merit makeup because I can't see myself because it's not very bright right here because I'm quite a distance from the window, which is here, and I'm at the age now where I need extra light. I need help with my eyesight as much as I can get. So I just pop it on for a little bit, put on my makeup, and then I just pop it off, and it's been really, really good. So this is the Ricky Loves Ricky Skinny mirror, I think it's called. So I've been enjoying this. I've also, as you can see, changed into one of my iconic Canadian t-shirts, my Beaver Canoe t-shirt, which was a big brand when I was growing up. Also because I just picked up so many, I think, allergens on my linen shirt while I was outside. I just put that to the side. So related to that, growing up, I always had in the house clothes and outside of the house clothes, and you just never mix them at all. And usually my inside the house clothes, frankly, would just be my pajamas. Like I would come home from school and put my pajamas on and just basically keep them on for the rest of the night. I do that less now, but it's not a bad habit, to be honest. It's just nice to have your outside clothes stay outside and have completely clean clothes for the inside. Just as you wouldn't ever dream of wearing your outside shoes inside the house, like you would never wear your shoes that you would walk on the street with inside your bedroom, inside your kitchen, not a done thing for a lot of people all over the world. But I did slip on this t-shirt because it's actually really quite hot in here. That was a whole lot of talk just to say that basically I have different sets of outfits sometimes for inside and outside. If you need a meal that's super easy to make, faster and easier than takeout, and provided that you like Italian food, I've got the thing for you. What you need is muti passata, or another good quality passata. You need 1 clove of garlic, you need some olive oil, and you need a small size pasta, and you need a can of cannellini beans. These are sometimes also called white kidney beans, and that's it. Those are all the ingredients you need for a simple home-cooked meal that's gonna be, honestly, perfect for those days where you're trying to have a reset or you're just not trying to cook so much. You wanna make sure you have a bit of protein, a bit of vitamin C, and some nice carbs on the side. Very, very simple. Just a drizzle of olive oil into the bottom of a medium hot pot and wait for the garlic to sizzle. When that's sizzling and you can smell the garlic, it's very fragrant, go ahead and put in your passata. Passata is basically tomato sauce. It's a tomato sauce that's been pureed. You just have to cook it off a little bit more on your own. And once your passata is a little bit cooked down, you know, I only cook mine for about 10 minutes. At that point, you can add in your rinsed off. It's important to rinse them off, otherwise they're gonna give you gas. But it's important then to, after you've rinsed off your white cannellini beans, picked out any of the bad things. There's always some sort of shell that you're not gonna wanna eat. Once those are looking good and your sauce has been bubbly, nice and hot, you can add in the cannellini beans. And additionally, if you like it to be spicy, you wanna add in some red chili flakes. Because my husband loves these, I'm fine with or without them, doesn't really matter that much to me, but he likes food to be on the spicier side and cook it off a bit more. This is maybe 25-30 minutes to make this sauce. At the same time, you can be boiling your water for pasta, serve it with a nice salad on the side, and that is a perfect spring reset meal. That's also vegan, incidentally. I'm not a vegan, but if you're looking for a vegan meal, you can make it gluten-free as well if you buy gluten-free pasta. Now, mine will not be vegan in the end because I'm definitely adding Romano cheese. That's it. I just got to make the pasta now, and dinner will be served. Here's the final product. There's the little baby robin from earlier. Take cover! Storm is coming! Well, the rain has arrived. Yesterday was very dramatic, wasn't it? What a beautiful sunny day, not as hot as it was yesterday. I am up early. I'm going to have my usual breakfast, which is half of an English muffin with a lot of butter on it. And my second coffee of the day is almost always a cappuccino kind of a thing. I will probably have 3 coffees today. Not that nutritious, but for whatever reason, this is the perfect amount of food to keep me going until noon. I love coming out here in the morning. I love how the sun rakes across my lawn. I just love that. I think it looks so nice. Did I mention that I have a new article up? My article about best dim sum places in Toronto is up in the city's tourism website, destinationtoronto.com. I'm going to link it up. So if you're curious, I write a little bit about growing up in Toronto as well in the article. So I'll put that down below in the description if you want to see that. I'm pretty sure I'm one of the few writers who actually grew up in that main Chinatown that's downtown, because we have a lot of Chinatowns here. I don't know if you know that. We have like 5 or something like that. And there are a lot of other Chinese Canadian writers, of course, but they are from the suburbs, or they're, you know, they've moved here from somewhere else. There aren't that many of us that are from specifically downtown Chinatown. Oh shoot, rained quite a bit yesterday, so let's dump this out. And my painting container fell down here. Let's put that away. Different hat for a different occasion. Oh, and I found this coat of mine. I'm not sure if you can see it well. Let me see if I can put you down somewhere and show it to you. Let's try this. I had thought that I had given it away to charity, but I actually had it downstairs. So that was a great find. That's exciting. I love that for me. Sometimes I put things away and I don't take them out for a couple of years. And the great thing about doing that is you're excited to wear it again. I love being out and about for a walk in the early morning. A lot of deliveries are happening for the local businesses, and it's just so quiet and nice. The lawns on that side of the street are especially well manicured. I just love looking at houses in the city. It never gets old for me. Tulips are coming up soon. Well, they're up, but they haven't bloomed yet. Too chilly still. I just love a good morning walk. As soon as the snow is gone and the ice is gone, I try and get out for a 10-minute walk before I start work every day. Well, this is a position you don't see me in that often. I drove to my watercolor class today because I'm just not feeling the whole subway thing because my energy is not perfect yet. So I thought I'd save myself a bit of time and a few steps and drive here. And I found a free parking spot because I'm a Toronto girl and Toronto girls don't pay for parking unless we absolutely have to. So I am deep in the West End. That's where my watercolor class is. And Jen is coming from the East End. So we're gonna meet up for coffee and have a bit of a chat, and then it's watercolor class time. I'll show you what I can. I don't know how much I'll be able to show because I like to let people have their privacy, you know. I make vlogs, it doesn't mean they all want to be in my vlogs. All right, let's head out. I nailed this parallel parking spot, if I do say so myself. Nailed it in one, but it was easy. There was a lot of space in this one. So here we are, a different area of town, one that I certainly didn't grow up in. We are in Bloor West. This is what we call Bloor West. And the houses are bigger here, generally speaking, and they have a bit more space. My voice is still not that good. I'm feeling a bit scratchy still. I cannot seem to beat the remnants of this cold. So that little coffee shop there is where we're heading before class. Had the nicest time in class today. We did some landscapes, which I'm kind of on. One of the women in the class is going through breast cancer, and so there are 3 of us in one class that are in different stages, I guess, of survivorship. One of the older women there is marking her 22nd year, I think, and then there's me, of course, and then this woman is going through all the treatments right now. So obviously it didn't film anybody, obviously I wouldn't do that, but it was just nice to share stories a little bit, and it's always so cool to be around those women who have survived a long time, who are kind of at the same stage as you. So fingers crossed, the woman across from me who's going through it now and I also can reach the age of senior citizenship. The classes, they're not just about upskilling. It's like important, I think, to be out there in the world, because one thing you discover is that you're really not alone. Well, good morning. It is a really gray day and it's drizzling a little bit, so that's not good. So I guess it's gonna be a chill, stay inside kind of day. Just waiting for my hair to dry and then I'm gonna do it because I've been washing it every 3 or 4 days and that seems to be going well. I'm gonna really take it easy today. I'm really trying to recover and I'm gonna get serious about it now. I'm gonna try and drink more water and rest. I'm not gonna exercise today. I'm just gonna putter around inside. Sorry, I'm looking around because I'm hearing a squirrel or something going crazy around me. And the weather is cooperating because when it's drizzly and gray like this, I'm okay with staying inside. I'm okay with having a chill indoor kind of day. Here are the robins again, and I'm pretty sure what's going on is that it's a mom robin trying to teach her kid how to eat. There they are. And how to find worms in the morning. So it was interesting chatting with that woman yesterday who is going through breast cancer treatment, because it made me reflect on how I got to this point in my life and whether this idea of living more calmly or more slowly had anything to do with going through breast cancer. And I don't think it really did that much. I think what was more impactful in my decision to kind of slow down was actually COVID, being stuck inside for a couple of years. After we all did the whole lockdown thing, I just didn't really feel the urge to work as hard as I did before. I think a lot of us learned that we could have fewer things and still be happy as long as we had our health, feel less social pressure to do things maybe we didn't want to do. And just like grinding away at work and hustle culture was not the be all and end all of life and living. I think we just all had more free time to like be outside, be in nature more, go for more walks, be contemplative. So I think going through COVID kind of brought me more to this place more than going through breast cancer treatment. But one thing going through that did teach me is that I didn't really want to work 9 to 5 in an office job. We've talked about how the world of media, print media really dwindled. And a lot of my friends segued into other jobs. They segued into communications, marketing. They've taken director positions, high-ranking positions with a lot of responsibility, a lot of requirement really to be in the office and to be on call all the time. I could have done that. I could have taken a director of communications or a marketing type job given the job titles that I had, because I've been a managing editor before, I've been a copy chief, I've done a number of higher ranking jobs. I just didn't want to. After breast cancer, I was like, I do not want to change industries and work like a dog again. That does not interest me. I mean, honestly, maybe if someone had just asked me if I wanted to do a job and I didn't have to do all the mental energy of switching industries, I probably would have gone for it. So a lot of things are just situational, like where life finds you. Probably if I knew someone who was like, Helen, come and do this director of marketing job, I probably would have done it. So it's just interesting how life turns out sometimes, right? Had I done that, probably I wouldn't be in this sort of slow living type lifestyle right now. I'd probably be very embedded in the corporate world. But I wasn't willing to go after that. That's not what I wanted for myself at the time. And so here we are today. And it wasn't any grand goal or architectural plan of how I wanted to live my life. It kind of just turned out this way. And I'm really loving it, to be honest. I really, really enjoy living this way. So the other thing that happened is that my husband started working from home more due to COVID. And so that was a big changing point for all of us. Like many people, we had more time to go out together during the day. Do you remember during COVID when people would go for bike rides and stuff like that? Take an hour break for lunch? Because before that, he was a full-time in the office worker. And ever since then, he has not gone back full-time to the office. So that has contributed also to just more chill vibes in this house. I don't know how else to describe it. We're just around each other more. We're kind of like the Three Musketeers over here. So I should mention why I always talk about them, but they're rarely in the vlogs. In my son's case, I talk about him a lot. He's 16 and he just doesn't, this is just not his thing. He doesn't want to be on YouTube. He doesn't want to be in the vlogs, which I totally respect. Sometimes he does though. I bet you when we travel, which is coming up soon, he will agree. He'll be willing to be on it. Not that I really twist his arm or ask or anything like that. And my husband's just busy with work. He probably would be, but he's not like an influencer husband or anything like that, an Instagram husband holding my phone all day while I vlog or anything like that. He's super busy with his own work. The other thing is that, my husband works like a dog. He works really, really hard. And a friend of mine really wisely once said, my husband works so hard. Why do both of us have to kill ourselves? And I thought, gosh, that's so smart. And then she went on to take a job at Google. So I don't know how that's still working for her, but it was smart at the time. I'm gonna be making, in a way, not the healthiest lunch because it's just like instant noodles, but have you ever had these? These are the ultra spicy Korean noodles. They're so tasty, but my goodness, they're like a fire level spicy. So if you can't handle spice, don't ever buy these. But if you love spice, you're gonna like these. They're the bulldog ones. So I've got one cheese one. And then I think we're all eating this for lunch. Let me look and see what the leftovers are. Yeah, no leftovers, so we're all having this. Oh no, they're all cheese. Okay, I thought I was gonna have to mix types, which you can do. Okay, I'm gonna be making 3 packages of this and I'm gonna put egg in it. And then that's also why you see me washing this broccoli, because I'm going to put the broccoli in with it for fiber as well. So the other thing I've been working on, which I'm not sure that I'll ever share, to be honest, also because it's a written medium, is I've been working on some poetry. I've never been drawn to poetry. I've never been interested in poetry, but I've been exploring it. There's a real delicious satisfaction in thinking about a sentence and crafting it and getting it exactly how you want it, all the right words, the mood is right. And I've done that for years as a job, right? And I still do, I have that new article out that's in Destination Toronto, but to try it in a different format like poetry, that's been fun. You're never too old to try something new. People take up endurance sports and things like that after they retire, or at any age, really. There's people who start running in their 80s. How inspiring is that? Fiber is so essential, I think, to feeling good. So I'm glad I'm gonna be going for this heaping helping of broccoli in our lunch. So this is not a cooking vlog or anything like that, but I did want to tell you, I don't know if you know, not everybody does know this, but you can totally eat broccoli stems. You just have to take off the outer parts. So I'll trim this one and show you. What I do is I just take off this dead part here. The end is gone, and then just carefully use 4 cuts. You can also use a vegetable peeler to peel off this tough outside part. It's quite tough, but the inside is like a really nice crunchy stalk. So you do this, you get rid of these, and you know, let no part of this go to waste. Then you can just sort of slice this however you like. I kind of do these long pieces, and I will throw these in. They will be tender crisp, because I do like broccoli and I don't like to waste any of it. You can also eat, I don't know if you know that, but you can eat these leaves as well. So I will save that leaf. That's edible as well. I am really tired now, so if any of you have made it this far, thank you for watching. Please do remember to drop a like and leave me a comment or an emoji. How about a flower emoji in celebration of spring? But the other thing, if you don't know what to write and you have an idea of what I can do, please let me know. Like, is there a supplement I should be taking? Is there a remedy of some sort? Like, what is the missing piece of the puzzle? Probably just time. I think I'm just impatient because I usually recover so quickly from colds. I'm usually like 4th day, 5th day, I'm fine. I'm back up at it. Like, I certainly don't have like a runny nose and fatigue 2 weeks later. Sorry, I hope I don't sound like I've just been moaning through this whole vlog. I'm just surprised. I'm surprised that I'm not getting better faster. Okay, here's another little accidental slow living hack. I've discovered that if you write with a fountain pen, it makes you slow down your writing and it makes you think a lot more about what it is you're jotting down. And that is such a great combination for journaling. You can't really go so quickly with a fountain pen. I think it really forces you to slow down. And that's been so nice. Like, I've never really enjoyed journaling, and now it's almost part of a creative practice with this slow flowing pen. So if you want a pen, an inexpensive fountain pen recommendation, this is a Japanese sailor pen, and it's like maybe $15. So I used to think that fountain pens were very expensive. They don't have to be. And you can also use this for drawing if you're following me because you're into art. And it just has these like cartridges. You just pop them in. I remember fountain pens being such a kerfuffle. Here's the fountain pen, and it just slows you down. And it makes these really pretty lines and has this nice scratchy sound. But you have to learn how to control it as well. So that's been fun, because if you go too flat, you'll get a really fat line, and maybe you don't want that. Maybe you want it thinner. So anyway, put a link down below if I remember, or just whatever fountain pen maybe you have around. I don't know. I think that people get these as gifts a lot and then don't really use them, but it's worth trying out. You might find that you start to enjoy writing again by hand, which I have definitely. It like connects you to this old, slow process, and you can draw with it as well if you want. Nothing stopping you from drawing in your journals as well, if that's what you want to do. So here's my embroidered tablecloth that I keep working on. I keep adding little bits to it, and I'm gonna do the other side of the pattern. I just have to lay out the pattern down on this side. So to do these patterns, I use this thing called Sulky Solvy, I think is the name of it. And then you use your printer to print it out, and you can see half of it was cut out to do that other side. And so I'm going to do this on the other side of the tablecloth and figure out where best to place it. And it sticks to the fabric, and then you just stitch on top of it, and then eventually you can just wash it off. So how will this best be? Choices, aesthetic choices. Okay. So that's what it's going to look like. And that is the lily of the valley that I embroidered last summer. So when I make these noodles, I just boil all the broccoli and the noodles together, basically. I have some egg here, and I like to just quickly put the sauces off to the side and decant them into this. Also, if you want it a little hot, there's nothing saying you have to use the whole package of seasoning. So this is the cheesy flavor of them. So then you add these little packets to the end. But I'm just gonna pre-cut them now so that they're ready to roll when the time comes. Set them aside. Yeah, I'm gonna drain these heat up this pan here because this burner's raging hot. I just add the egg into the side here. Okay, ideally I would have done this in 2 batches, but I'm just not in the mood today, so it will have to be a slightly crowded pan. It doesn't look devastatingly spicy, but I guarantee you that it is wildly hot. Cheese powder. And there it is, ready for lunch. I have been lying down. Hopefully the echo is not too bad in this room. I have been lying down this afternoon and just working with my laptop, and it has done me the world of good. It is continuing to be a really rainy day, and I'm continuing to force myself to just really be chill and truly rest, truly rest. I'm still using my Tangle Teaser, everybody, after years. I still really like this hairbrush, and then the other one I'm still liking is this old Body Shop one, this little one that I've had for a long time. And I like to brush from underneath so I don't snag as much hair from the top, because if you really pull on the top, you'll get little breakaways, right? So if you go underneath, you'll have fewer split ends, I think. At least that's how it's been working on my hair. I'm not going anywhere, nor do I have any social engagements or anything, but I just wanted to get my hair done so it can just be done and dusted and I don't have to do it tomorrow. I do actually curl right on top of my dry wavy hair. You can curl on top of waves. It's a myth that you have to straighten it out first, or at least for my hair texture and my situation, I don't find that I have to. One comment that I get here a lot is that my voice is very calming, and you may be wondering, or maybe you'll be working under the illusion that that is how I am all the time. It isn't. You know, I am a regular person with many different indoor, outdoor, excited, non-excited registers. I'm not always like this, but I think the thing to keep in mind is this isn't fake, this is me. This is a facet of me though. This is sort of my inner monologue, because you've got to remember, it's just me here, so I'm not going to be that lively. Like if we were in a group or we were at a party kind of situation, if we were out for dinner in a loud place, I would be louder, I would project my voice more, I would be more bubbly and maybe energetic, but the whole point is that I'm trying to make this a chill, calming space for myself as well, because I also enjoy slipping into this quieter headspace. This is just a very quick curl. I do this just to dampen down on the frizz, and it makes my hair kind of shiny looking, which I like. Because I have this uneven wave, it looks dull, but if I wave it with the curling iron, the trick of the eye is that it looks shinier, even though it's the same hair. It's just that every single one of these bumps will read as frizz. So yeah, energetically, I'm trying to present calm vibes, and it is who I am, but it's not always who I am or only who I am. But in general, you know, I'm not someone who needs to be the boisterous center of attention. I'm not super gregarious, but I'm pretty friendly. I just smile at people pretty easily, and I like to laugh. But around the time that I started my art channel, I just decided that I wanted to present and embody a more calm, quieter kind of energy here, to just speak in a quieter voice, because a lot of YouTube advice is that you need to be peppier than you normally are and be a little bit louder and sit up straighter and be more intense basically. And I had tried that, and I don't know, it just didn't sit that well with me. It just didn't feel like something I could do for hour after hour as you do on vlogs. If you want to be on YouTube for years and years, as I have now, you really need to try and land in the place that's going to give you longevity. And you really do have to be your authentic self, because it's exhausting to perform in any other way. And so I'm so glad that I made the switch to just be quieter. It just feels more like me. Okay, there it is. Far from perfect. I will let this cool down. Even these sort of tight party curls, they will really loosen up. My timer here on the phone camera says that I've been doing this for 6 minutes. So it's only like a few minutes to get a bit of a sleeker do. Okay, I can see that there's some frizzies. So what I do is when it's still hot, I just gently go over the top, and that tends to really push them down. So that is how I finish it. It is still raining, and it's been raining all day. I've just been watching streams of water go down the street all day and now all evening. My hair's gotten a little looser and more how I like it. I'm just going to continue chilling for the rest of this evening, edit this vlog and try and get it uploaded so that I can release it quickly. Usually I give it a bit of time to breathe after I've uploaded it, but I'm gonna get this out quickly because I would like to know if you guys have any remedies or ideas for me. But I am starting to feel better. I actually think just really taking it easy today has helped. I can feel that my energy is coming back. Who knew? You just need to rest sometimes. It's the perfect rainy night to cozy up with my book, so that's what I'm going to do now. Thanks for spending your time here with me, and we'll see you in the next video.